We already know that energy is extremely powerful and is capable of manifesting anything we desire. But just as it can be a tool of creation, it can also be a tool of destruction. Even though we cannot see them, bad energies abound in our daily lives, and we have the duty to face them to maintain balance in our lives. If you feel like you're being the victim of a spiritual attack, then you have come to the right place. Stay until the end to know the most common symptoms and how to deal with each of them. First, development of apathy. This is perhaps one of the clearest signs of a possible spiritual attack. This loss of interest in previously meaningful practices can manifest as a decrease in commitment to daily spirituality and difficulty maintaining spiritual disciplines. The way these spiritual attacks harm us is through our purest side, and there is nothing purer than positive energies. When a person experiences this apathy towards spiritual matters, they may feel disconnected from their source of inspiration and purpose. You may even find it difficult to engage in spiritual activities that used to provide you comfort and guidance, experiencing a sense of emptiness or detachment in relation to your spiritual life. In these cases, it is important to approach this warning sign with sensitivity and understanding. It may be helpful to seek support from spiritual guides, energy healing practitioners, or religious leaders who can offer guidance and support in this process. You can also do your part with self-care practices such as meditation, prayer, and emotional self-care. These can help strengthen the energy field and protect against possible spiritual attacks. Second, resurfacing of past wounds. The spiritual attack goes directly where it hurts us. Therefore, this phenomenon also implies the reappearance of painful and disturbing emotions that were believed to be overcome or resolved. Even if you think you have forgotten or overcome those old feelings, the spiritual attack comes to them because it knows how delicate they are for you. These emotional wounds can be exploited by negative forces to influence our emotional and mental state, weakening our spiritual and emotional resilience. In these cases, it is best to face the situation with intelligence and calm. Look for activities or places that give you peace, and once you have a calm mind, you will see that those feelings are far away and they can no longer hurt you. Once again, meditation stands as a great savior in these cases, and the connection with nature can also protect you from these symptoms. Even if you feel good, do not abandon these practices, since they will work as a shield against these attacks. Third, unexplained fatigue. This type of fatigue involves constant physical and mental tiredness, which persists even after adequate rest periods. The most curious thing is that this sensation seems to come from nowhere. It is not that we are tired from any physical or mental activity. It just seems like someone or something is stealing our energy. When we experience this fatigue, it can be difficult to perform everyday activities and fulfill our usual responsibilities. We feel exhausted and unmotivated, which can interfere with our overall well-being and our ability to function optimally in different areas of our life. Since it is a physical consequence, we must take actions from that same perspective. Practicing regular exercise, adequate rest, and a healthy diet allows us to always have our energy working and revitalize our body every day. If you still feel that fatigue continues to invade you, try exercising with a friend. You will see that this company will give you encouragement and good energy to continue fulfilling your routine. Fourth, disturbing dreams and visions. The time when we are most connected to our spiritual side is when we sleep, specifically in the world of dreams. And spiritual attacks are often directed there, since it is a place where we cannot defend ourselves, placing disturbing, sinister, or even terrifying images in our dreams. This can generate fear, confusion, emotional discomfort, and a feeling of helplessness, as it seems that we cannot change this situation, but this does not have to be that way. In such situations, seeking emotional and spiritual support from spiritual guides, counselors, or therapists can be helpful in understanding and processing these experiences. Additionally, cultivating spiritual protection practices such as prayer, meditation, and wearing protective amulets can help strengthen our spiritual energy and protect us against negative influences. Don't let these negative dreams affect your routine. Treat them intelligently and you will see how everything changes. Fifth, permanent confusion and anxiety. These types of overwhelming feelings are sent by bad energies to divert our attention from our spiritual path, generating fear and a feeling of helplessness. We feel overwhelmed by negative thoughts and worries, which can interfere with our connection to the divine and our ability to find inner peace. In this case, it is essential to remember that confusion and persistent anxiety are common experiences, and that you are not alone in this struggle. Seeking appropriate help and support is a brave step towards healing and restoring inner peace. Sixth, resurgence of old habits and lifestyles. Anchoring ourselves to the past is one of the most self-destructive habits we can carry out. And that is why many of the symptoms of spiritual attacks act from this place. This involves retreating into past behaviors or unhealthy habits that one had previously overcome, or hanging out with toxic people with whom we had already closed a cycle. If it feels like a setback, that's because it is. We are going backwards in our personal and spiritual growth, which can lead to feelings of guilt, shame, and frustration. The important thing is that you have the willpower to recognize and face this situation. Cut off everything that anchors you to the past and instead hold on to the present, to the people and experiences that you are enjoying today. This will help you see life from the now, which will eliminate anxiety about the future and sadness about the past immediately. Seventh, retreat from relationships and spiritual companionship. Part of tying yourself to the past is also affecting your present, which is the focus of many of these attacks. This involves experiencing difficulty participating in group spiritual activities or meaningful conversations with fellow believers, which indicates an attempt to isolate and weaken the connection with the person's spiritual community. When we find ourselves in this situation, it can feel like we are disconnected or distant from our usual spiritual relationships and communities. This withdrawal may be the result of negative influences that seek to weaken our connection to the spiritual community and undermine our emotional and spiritual support. The hardest thing about this type of attack is that many times you must face it alone. This attack blocks your closest support and forces you to look directly at the negative energy. But you should not feel afraid. You can still turn to spiritual help, even if you feel disconnected. Prayer, meditation, and personal reflection can help us reconnect with our faith and our spiritual community. By focusing on nurturing our spiritual relationships and seeking the fellowship of those who share our faith and values, we can strengthen our spiritual resolve and protect ourselves against negative influences. Eighth, financial trials as spiritual obstacles. Money, whether we want to accept it or not, is a direct representative of our success. If we have a lot, we may feel well-being, and if we have little, we may feel quite bad. This almost sentimental relationship with money makes this point one of the favorites of spiritual attacks, since it destabilizes us on multiple levels. These financial difficulties can arise suddenly and test our faith and spiritual commitment, challenging our ability to maintain a positive and focused attitude in the midst of adversity. First of all, we cannot ignore these financial difficulties. It is best to recognize them and realize that we can improve in this aspect. Seeking emotional and spiritual support from friends, family, or spiritual guides can provide a support network during these difficult times. At the same time, You strive to educate yourself financially and better understand your expenses and income, so no detail can escape you. Address this situation from all areas, and it will no longer be a problem for you. You will be able to enjoy your money as you always have. You can suffer all of these symptoms at once, and you can carry out all the solutions you learned today. But the truth is that the ultimate tool to overcome a spiritual attack is seeking the guidance and protection of the universe. In this perspective, it is recognized that, as beings connected to the universe, we are given the authority to resist and overcome negative forces that may attempt to weaken us spiritually. These attacks can come through toxic places or people who do nothing but constantly steal our energy. Therefore, this approach involves cultivating an intimate relationship with the universe through prayer, meditation, and spiritual practice, allowing its love and power to guide and protect us at all times. By trusting in the guidance and protection of the universe, we can find comfort and strength in the midst of spiritual adversity, overcoming challenges with greater mental clarity and a renewed sense of purpose and connection to the divine. Do it starting today, and you will have the tools to face any negative energy that comes your way. What do you think about this topic? Have you experienced any of these symptoms? Leave your thoughts in comments. If you made it this far, I want to thank you for watching the video. If you like this type of content, don't hesitate to support the channel with your like and subscription. I also invite you to take a look at our other videos. I'm sure that more than one will be to your liking. Thank you very much for watching the video, and we'll see you next time.